a tale of two contrasting presidencies. Abraham Lincoln governed through reflection, deliberation, and careful coalition building. Though presiding over a nation engulfed in civil war, he always prioritized unity over ego. His decisions, even when politically risky, such as issuing the Emancipation Proclamation, were rooted in months of contemplation and input from all his cabinet of advisers. Donald Trump, by contrast, in his first presidency, exhibited a governance style driven more by instinct, ego, and impulse than deliberation. Cabinet members were often selected for their loyalty rather than expertise, and dissent was frequently punished rather than engaged. Decision-making was highly centralized around his persona, often communicated via social media first. When Trump said, "I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose voters," Lincoln said, "Man can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." When Donald Trump said, "The press is the enemy of the people," Abraham Lincoln in contrast said, "The liberty of the press is essential to the preservation of democracy." When Donald Trump said, "We're going to have to see what happens," in response to a journalist's question about the peaceful transfer of power, Abraham Lincoln in contrast said, "Elections belong to the people. It's their decision. If they decide to turn their back on the fire and burn their behinds, then they will just have to sit on their own blisters." You see, the presidency, at its best, serves as the moral compass of the nation. Abraham Lincoln understood this. Donald Trump sees it in a radically different way. One saw leadership as a burden of humility, the other as a platform for dominance. To compare them is to compare two visions of American power, one unifying, the other polarizing, one rooted in service, the other in spectacle. When Lincoln said, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people," Trump in stark contrast said, "Nobody knows more about government than me, believe me. I am a stable genius, and I will be a dictator on day one." Two presidents, two different legacies. Abraham Lincoln is and will continue to be remembered not just as a skilled statesman, but as a moral visionary who saved the Republic by remaining deeply grounded in principle. His legacy rests not only on the decisions he made, but on how he made them, with empathy, consultation, and reverence for the democratic experiment. Donald Trump's legacy, however, is still being contested, but early historical assessments paint a troubling picture. A president who governed once, and now continues to govern with a narrow, self-referential compass, who encourages division rather than unity, and who weakens democratic institutions through lies, intimidation, and the normalization of ethical transgressions. Want to know the truth of how American politics arrived at this current crisis? It wasn't overnight. All is revealed in God, Gold, and Governance, the new triad of power in the United States of America, an essential read for those who value democracy, and for those seeking to know the truth. Available on Amazon, late June, early July.